We're just about to take off here in Austin and fly into D.C. and Dallas. I'll be on the ground with live reports today with David Knight. David Knight is coming up with the rest of the crew here in just a minute. But to kick off the broadcast, this is linked up on drudgereport.com. That's the easiest place to find it. In an epic final speech, Joe Biden warns that the progressive democratic world order is at risk of collapse. This is a guy that was just given the Freedom Award by Obama last week. Now let's talk facts here. Let's talk reality, okay? Everything that they say in this headline is a lie. The democratic world order, the private corporate world government that's setting up that's anti-free market and that openly wants a monopoly, the EU that has gotten all the member states to enter it, out of 25, all but 2 didn't get to vote to enter it. The UK never voted to enter it. It was a, quote, trade deal. They didn't even vote for that. Now they've passed the Brexit 5 months ago. They're told you're not allowed to leave. I predicted they'd say that because I know who these tyrants are. This is literally like a James Bond movie where you have these multinational combines taking over countries. This is the new colonialism, but the globalists have already taken over the third world. Now they're coming back and colonizing with political control and economic warfare of the first world. Once they've conquered that, once they've gotten rid of the only middle classes existing in their own white papers, their own WikiLeaks, their own Cloward and Piven strategies, it's game over. But all over the world, nation states are rising against globalism, and they admit, at Davos right now, the Communist Chinese president is speaking, as we speak, with other representatives, that they're going to prop up world government. So the Communist Chinese that have killed over 100 million of their own people. That's a conservative number. Biggest mass murders in history. They killed 4 times what Hitler did. Probably 5 times what Stalin did. Look it up, over 100 million, 80 plus million under Mao alone. They're going to teach us about a democratic world order here. Let me give you the exact quote of that. In an epic final speech, Joe Biden warns that the progressive democratic world order is at risk of collapse. Isn't that just special? Isn't that just darling? What a joke. No, what's collapsing is unelected corporate TPP, IMF, World Bank, WTO, all run by a couple hundred people. You look at who runs the CFR, the Royal Commission, the roundtable groups, it's all a couple hundred people. Henry Kissinger's on every one of these boards, over 100 of them. The Rockefellers donated the UN land. They created all 30 of the world government promoting bodies. There's 30 of them, of these NGOs. Last time I checked, over 30. The 30 major ones. I mean, this is crazy. This is how they're taking over, and they're not taking over to build a better world. They don't want free market. They don't want families. They don't want strong men. They don't want independence. They want monopoly. They want full control. And the great news I keep telling you is they've hit the panic button. But we're fighting with logic. It's not a democratic world order when it's unelected and the Communist Chinese are the heart of it. Okay, let me just explain that. When the biggest mass murderers in the world are your hope. That's the headlines in AP, Reuters. Chinese government, the hope of world government. As other nations pull back, the Chinese promise more free trade. That means more economic war against the West, more lowering of wages, more consolidation of power. I want to empower the Chinese people. They're amazing folks. We never should have backed Mao Zedong in 49. We should have backed Chiang Kai-shek, of course. And you see Trump now supporting Taiwan. You see Trump standing against the belligerents. And in just 2 days, hell, just in a matter of days, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to see Donald Trump as the president of the United States. This is such an incredible time to be alive. I am so honored to be here with you, and I cannot stress enough that our ideology is more powerful than theirs 100 times. We're promoting liberty, we're promoting freedom, we're promoting renaissance, we're promoting free will and free association. That's unstoppable. That's why Maxine Waters comes out and says, calling her crooked Hillary is a Russian government trick. Because Putin tells him what to do, because, see, they're all command and control. They have people telling them what to say, people telling them what to do, and so they can't imagine there's all these independent people fighting them. They can't imagine that InfoWars. I've had government agents, Mossad, CIA, New York Times, Washington Post, all of them ask me, how are you doing it? Who's backing you? Who's behind you? Where did all this come from? And I'm like, it's ideas. It's 1776. It's one person 20-something years ago seeing the threat to America, trying to build a media operation to counter it, started on Access Television. And there were other people just like me also taking action, like Matt Drudge and WorldNet Daily and countless others. And now Americana is coming back into the world. Our listeners, many of them, a lot older than I am, have been involved in the fight for liberty for decades, and you're the reason we're here today. You built the foundation we all stand on, so I salute you. For everybody from Barry Goldwater to Ron Paul to the folks that wrote None Dare Call It Conspiracy, to Cleon Skousen, to everybody, you're the reason we're here and able to fight. The John Birch Society, they've been proven 100% accurate. So chillingly accurate, so dead on, so amazing. I'm not even a member. I'm just saying, that group went through demonization, went through hell, back when nobody knew this, back when nobody cared, and back when people really believed Walter Cronkite and all the bull. So it's those trailblazers. Listen, in the beginning, as Mark Twain said, in the beginning a patriot's a scarce man, hated, feared, and scorned, but in time when his cause succeeds, the timid join him, because then it costs nothing to be a patriot. And I've been through a lot of persecution, I've been attacked, but quite frankly, I'm a later wave in this fight. The waves get bigger. I had it easy, where half the listeners agreed with me 20-something years ago. Imagine 99% attacking you and the big three networks when they had total dominance and almost total trust, saying you're traitors, saying you're evil, saying you're racist when you're not. And so they've used that same playbook for decades. Racist, racist, racist. That doesn't work now. So now they've shifted to Russian agent, and no one's buying it. The danger is, in their death throes, they may pull something big to try to really bring us into war or economic collapse. They're already trying to blame Trump for a collapse they say is coming as they push for one as hard as they can, trying to raise interest rates and other things. This is an epic time. But folks, you wanted to fight globalism. You wanted to fight the New World Order. You asked for champions. You're getting them. You are the champions. And don't let the globalists tell you that if you're black or Hispanic or Asian, that you're not welcome in the Tea Party. Are there racist white people? Damn right there are. Are there racist black people? You know there are. Same thing. Doesn't matter. With the GMO, the globalism, the toxic waste, all of it, humanity and every other species is under attack by the toxicity, by the GMO. We have to come together against the technocracy to defeat it. It's the big threat against all of us. Glyphosate's given all of our women breast cancer, isn't it? Glyphosate, fluoride's hurting all our children, isn't it? So let's get smart, not let them play us off against each other, and let's unify around free market and around open, sovereign nation that stands for individual liberty, and say no to collectivism, no to free speech killing political correctness, and restore true classical liberalism, which these neo-fascist globalists have hijacked. They're not the liberals, folks. They're not the people that are pro-freedom. They're the tyrants. They're demonizing America as the most unfree country in the world when it's been the freest. It hasn't been perfect, but they've got to kill that experiment. They've got to kill that idea. They've got to shut that down because they can't compete with it. A lot of big stuff's happening, but their world government's falling right now. But we have got to fill the gap and restore the republic, 1776 worldwide. Not an empire run by corporations that own America, but an empire of ideas spreading across the planet. And it's happening. Globalism is imploding. It's burning down because of its arrogance and its corruption. But again, we have to now rebuild the culture and rebuild society. The enemy's not totally routed yet, but they are in their death throes. Next time I'm speaking to you, Lord willing, please pray for us. We'll be in D.C. covering the inauguration live with a lot of surprises. Infowars.com/show for live feeds and transmissions. In closing, you're the power, folks. There's so many listeners I run into, so many great patriots getting outside their shell, spreading the word. Now, if that giant group just tells one more group and one more group about the show and about other broadcasts like it, and if more of you start your own shows and your own newsletters, online blogs, whatever it is, call into talk radio, call into C-SPAN, we will prove and show the world that we're the dominant force, that we are the majority. They want to make us feel like we're alone. We're not alone. We are the future. We are free will. We are the resistance. I love you all, and I'll see you for the inauguration of Trump coming up here in just a few hours. Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Jones here with the inauguration special. We've had some of the biggest sales in our history since Christmas into the new year. I'm extending them as the inauguration specials right through this weekend, and then it's over. We have some new products coming out next week, some other sales we're going to be doing, but many of these sales are going to have to come to an end. If you want across the board massive specials on hundreds and hundreds of items like Brain Force, 30% off, and there's 20% more in each bottle. Supernova Vitality, 30% off. Survival Shield X2, 30% off. Here's the bottom line. These are great products that have changed my life and changed so many other people's lives. Also, it funds the operation. This sale ends this weekend after the inauguration of Donald J. Trump as the 45th president. InfoWarsStore.com or InfoWarsLife.com or call toll free 888-253-3139. Get great products, help fund the InfoWar, and celebrate the election of a populist, a champion against the New World Order. I'm Alex Jones, and this is the InfoWar.